Okay.
Oh no. Okay. Well, now I feel so shy. But Jean, I was just going to share that I was feeling down today and I was started to listen to the recording and of course this occurs to me just about how sometimes I'm so down in my body and the difference of when we are feeling up and supported just by this work, by the earth, in flow, as you talk about, like it's all so profound in a way. So I just wanted to share that. And if, just as far as the kind of the, you know what I'm trying to say, the how it translates into our state of being when we're feeling supported and when we're just like either in our heads or just collapsing down. And also, of course, how everyone talks about, and we've talked about this before in class, but being grounded and how that can be different than just being connected to the earth and being supported by the earth. And yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to say a quick hi. I might get cut off and I'm on a bike, so I have to turn my camera off. But
Okay.
it's such a joy to see
And
Eugene and everybody and to
you,
hear your wise, beautiful words. Everybody is during the classes. So,
and your voice sounds absolutely terrific. And I have to remember that was how you we originally
well,
met, is that you came for that. And it's very hard. How is your mom doing? It's hard being a caregiver.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she's good. She's herself at 93. And so she's still very herself. And consequently, we're seeing sides of each other that we've never also seen before in this new relationship, in a way, in our new old relationship, or who knows, but it's good and it's challenging. It's all of it. So,
I know. Well, Mary can relate to that.
yeah.
Absolutely. We all can relate to that. Yeah. We've all had that experience. So it's wonderful. Thank you. That was just
Thank you so
really
much.
great.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a wonderful way to start our class and talking about some of the things that Carolyn talked about
Okay.
in terms of grounding and feeling supported. But yeah, Matt, was that a hand raise to say something to us? I hope so.
He was just waving to Carolyn
I
saying good
know.
to
And
see
now
you.
I'm going to put you on the spot. So you have to share something.
I have to say something.
Share.
Oh.
Yeah. Not say something. Share.
Oh. Um, well, I'm learning new lines for a play, and it's paying attention to being supportive just opens the way the lines come out in a way that, instead of trying to get someplace, you discover someplace, which has
Wonderful.
been quite fun.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Go further. Tell me more.
Well, I don't know, just when you're preparing a part, you have a conception, okay, what is this guy after? What is he doing? And and just to see what the words are and let them flow through you and find out how they come out instead of trying to make them come out a certain way, which especially because this guy is angry and you could, really just
Hmm.
push and damage your voice and all that sort of stuff. But no, he has to be having fun. And I definitely think when you're doing theater or any art, you want beauty. You don't want to do ugliness. And even though he's an ugly person, you don't want to do ugliness. You have to do him uh, in a way that even despite the fact he's a complete fucking creep, that you find him to be a human being. And so this work really helps to um, to so I just discover new and fresh things all the time. It's fun.
I love it. It's wonderful. Something else from somebody that you've been working on or thinking about or have questions about. Hi, Mary. Anything? So I'm going to pose a question to you, which is what I did to class today. And I just sat there and I said, it's what we've talked about every single week. Yes, I know we had, an entire year intervening where I didn't see you, but we had our first term and now we have this. What is alignment? And I'll tell you why I asked this question. It is because when I have them do the famous walking. Of course, you don't know the famous walking as you don't in a live class, but letting the earth to work again with relationship. How does the earth move us rather than us trying to move our bodies and observe our bodies? And they always look too poised. They always look to me like they're walking around holding themselves and holding their heads and fixing something. So it finally hit on me, and I think it might have been in this class last week, I'm not sure, where I thought they have a fixed idea of alignment of the body, a fixed idea of alignment looking externally at the body and how one thing, this is the language, right? One thing stacks onto the next, to the next, to the next. Mary, you can probably talk about that. And instead of what alignment truly is. Now, I've said this every week, we talk about it. So I pose that question to you. When you hear that language, what rings the bell for you? What is it that you know?
Jean, my friend Danny and I were talking about something similar this afternoon.
Mm.
I started working out again today after a while of being a little bit sick, and he's been working out, for the last week after being on a 10-day cruise. And he was saying how he felt like he was taller. He felt taller because his body was more in sync with all the parts of itself. And it's not a conscious thing that you're doing to stand up straight. It's, you're doing this workout program or whatever to make yourself stronger that then allows everything to work together the way that it's supposed to work together. So
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I think that has something to do with what you're getting at. And I guess my answer to what is being in alignment is not, having good posture, but allowing your body to be in sync with itself, to all the parts are working in the way that they're supposed to, and you feel grounded within yourself.
It's clearer and simpler than that. And it's physiological. What do we talk about all the time? Matt, don't make me call on you. What is that? Yeah, Will.
Well, I just have an experience to share about that relates to this. Is just before my surgery last weekend, I did a sensory awareness workshop, Charlotte Selver's work,
Oh, yeah, sure.
which I haven't done I did a long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
But well, no, I never met her, but this person's very good. And there's always, I mean, you're not doing much, but there's so much awareness. And as you're walking, you're very aware of the floor. You're aware of what's supporting you, and you're aware of, and somehow in that process, without thinking about alignment or aligning yourself, it just seems to happen naturally
Well, because gravity is the great aligner of the body.
yeah.
But why is that? Yeah, we know. Sensory nerve endings in the feet are stimulated by gravity, and that's what keeps us upright and aligns us. And when we bring awareness to it, that's wonderful. That's the athlete, great
But
athlete.
then often we walk around like we don't have feet
That's
with
exactly
no
right.
awareness of.
That's exactly right. But what is it? And why is it so difficult that we can't remember when teacher has said it many times? Why is it so difficult? And yet it is the essence of the structure of the body. It is in Alexander technique what
Oh,
The
that's
body
easy.
changes, it's not, Alexander is not about fixing people's bodies. We're not in the business of that. It's that when that happens, the other thing happens, the body, the package around it changes.
It's difficult because it's so simple.
Because it's what?
So simple.
So simple. Listen, you're going to,
Is it
hit yourselves when you hear it. It's the psoas diaphragm. That's your integration. And that is what, if you had to tell somebody what Alexander technique is, you could easily say it is what my famous paper, Nate, and talk about that, is all about, is that it is the integration of the muscles of posture, movement, and respiration, the psoas diaphragm. And because they are involuntary muscles, it takes so much creative imagination to bring them into consciousness and curiosity. But it is such an extraordinary knowledge to have that. And even if you don't have it physically, even if it's still obscure, you don't get it, what is she talking about? Having the direction, the knowledge of what that is begins to change something in our brain. It is fascinating to me. And of course, that's what voice is. That's what vocal support is. Plain and simple. I mean, that is really what vocal support is, because those core muscles, the psoas muscles, influence the diaphragm. But, and this is, we can work forever on this. It's so crucial. And it's something that, I think about, you have no idea. I think about it constantly. How can you get people to appreciate it? And I do think it's something that you just have to go off and figure out and be curious about. And what you're all doing is having the class and having lessons. It helps so much. If you come to standing, see, there is a difference between sensing and feeling. That you say, what? But there really truly is. The feeling is going inside the head, trying to feel something, and it will always remain in the head and looking at something called body, fixing something called body. But we want, and this is, what you're teaching actors, what you're teaching singers, musicians that hold an instrument, violinists, you'll see it, great violinists, if they're standing. The earth supports. And in the earth supporting, and the more you develop that awareness, that sensory awareness, as if my hands were underneath your feet. Feel it now. As I do that, what do you get from that? I'm not doing that, right? I'm holding you up. So that is what starts to invigorate these muscles, and it will make somebody feel very precarious when those muscles start to release and lengthen. And when we talk about them releasing, that is what is going on. They are continually changing their resting length. That's flow. Caroline talked about being in the flow, but that's what it is. It's time. It's music. Pianists, violinists, they live from this place. And those core muscles influence the back muscles and then out the arms. But that's what it is. If we are down like this, psychologically, psychophysically, you are never going to appreciate those muscles. It's just an impossibility. This is why this work is so hard. It's just so hard. Because you really are observing how you're thinking, you're noticing habits, you understand the subtlety going down, and maybe it takes, like my experience in doing the teacher training of 3 years being told, don't go down, 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 don't jump in legs, don't jump in legs. You're constantly aware of that. Your habits are being brought to your awareness. But this is the single best thing that you can do. When you talk about alignment, when one talks about alignment of the body, be very clear that it is about that inner structure. You know, my very, very first Alexander teacher, Joe Armstrong in Cambridge, Massachusetts, used to talk to me about the integration of the torso. I remember that language so well. Of course, it meant absolutely not a whit to me, nothing. It meant absolutely nothing, the integration of the torso, but that's what it is. It is the integration of those inner muscles. So one becomes very, I'm sorry, I'm just letting people in. You become very sensitive to collapse in the body. That makes us feel as though that's who we are. Because we know ourselves in that way. We know ourselves as being collapsed. It's comfy. I feel relaxed. Oh, I feel relaxed. And when you first start to be upheld by the earth, to invigorate those inner muscles, it feels like, whoa, that feels like too much. It's too up. I don't feel relaxed. But you see, you instantly get into a state of flow, and that should be your indication. So as you're standing here, and think about what Mary just said about her friend and feeling taller, that when you are invigorating those inner muscles, it makes you feel very tall. So what I was seeing in the students at school, when they would take the walk, and I'm sure it annoys them because we're always taking the walk, but they would hold themselves. And I realized that they were trying to get their head stacked in a proper way. But that is not how it works. There has to be freedom. And that structural core, just what Nat was saying earlier, is crucial. And it's really hard to bring into consciousness. And you see with the students in school, I say it every single week, and they don't remember. And I think about their acting teacher, Peter J. Hernandez, who's been on Broadway. And a few years ago, he caught me and was talking to me. I listened. And he was talking, and he was just railing against the students. And he said, they don't remember. They don't remember. So you have to be a bit of a sponge too. You have to, stay open and just absorb and hear these things. And even if you don't understand them at all, and it goes against your rational mind, Matt can talk for days on that one. Even if it goes against your rational mind, you still are entertaining the possibility of that. It is all our work. Think about our work in that way. All our work, every little tool that we do is another way in to try to bring to conscious awareness that integration of those muscles, your core muscles. And it's hard because, you've got these involuntary muscles. They whisper to us, they are creative. So you're not feeling them, you can't make them happen. You hear a teacher like me say the psoas muscles, when they are elongated, when you're not down in your legs, they start to have interior movement, they're changing their resting length, they send the legs away from the torso and the torso back and up, and that means nothing. Until it means something. Until you have had the experience, that aha moment one day where you just feel that what Will was saying earlier. You feel that earth support, where you feel that sense of flow and movement. So think of other things that we do.
Can I
Yeah,
ask a question?
interrupt.
So one thing that happened during that sensory awareness workshop, I could feel, we did many different kinds of exercises. There was one thing where we had a little, like a beanbag on our head, and we were sort of feeling the gravity. And it was remarkable. I couldn't feel it. I mean, I could feel it from temperature or whatever. And he said, that's because you're holding in your neck. And And I wonder, but I have these like injuries. So I do a lot of holding.
Yeah.
And when it's related to an injury, I don't know. Do you have any
I think that there's always a caution, but there are all those wonderful pictures, Michael Gelb's book on, called Body Learning, of Alexander, and how people who can walk, uh, Caribbean and everything, with something on their head, carrying it without any problem, or carrying the laundry on the head. But that's because it's coming out of there. So it's natural to think. See, I think that there is, I'm sorry, I somehow can't get this all in our full screen. I don't know what that is, but I can't. And it's sort of weird to me, but uh, anyhow. Um, People overfocus on head and neck. And that happens, Aida can talk about this too, in Alexander world. People overfocus on the head and neck, fixing the head and neck, freeing the neck. But the freedom of the neck comes from the feet. Everything is from the ground up. Everything. So if you're up here trying to have some idea, and I've seen this a lot with Alexander too, this idea of freeing the head, it's not right, because the rest of the body can be totally collapsed. I had a teacher in training, and I remember going for a lesson once. And he was a bit prissy, I will say. But I remember going for the lesson, and he was standing there in front of me doing this. And I'm getting very self-conscious. I'm standing there talking to him, getting more and more self-conscious, because I thought it was because I was tensing. He was noticing that I was tensing everything in my body, and I was making him tense, and so therefore he was doing this. But that's just a false idea of freedom. Trying to find the top of the spine, trying to do that. It's from the feet up. So in those, yeah, Mary.
Last time you gave me a fabulous phrase, or you gave us a fabulous phrase, the spaces between the steps.
We worked on that in class today. Isn't that something? Wow.
That is definitely something that I wanted to actually message you for the holiday to tell you thank you for the spaces between the steps, because I did have a consciousness, and I have a tear in one knee, and I have to wear a brace now not to have surgery. But the idea is that it really did help me in terms of kind of freeing that area. I don't exactly know how I freed it, but I felt that I had more space.
And because again, it says it goes back. Nate, I have to tell you, that looks absolutely beautiful, by the way, what you're doing. But Mary, what you've discovered was, it's just like in music. Music has found the spaces between the notes. It's really phenomenal how that works. And in acting, the same thing. You're living within the space, the sense of time, but it is a sensory appreciation. See, you can't be literal about it, because it doesn't work. It's a sensory thing of how do you perceive, and you can all practice this. What we did in class today is take a step and pause in the up. So you're in the up, and then something tells you, okay, take another step. And then you stay in the up. And you take another step and you stay in the up. So what you're doing is you're getting away from the thrust forward, similar to when we do like our la la la, and I stop you. I'll say, did you feel yourself jump? Did you feel yourself grab for something? So you're staying in this sense of flow and time. And that is your up. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you can all practice that now if you want, if you have enough space, just to do a couple steps of taking a step and finding the balance between the two steps, finding the up. And again, you're hanging up from the earth. Then something tells you to take the next step. And something tells you to take the next step. So you're starting to witness flow and time and coordination. Really sort of fun to play with all these things, and then we'll put it together when we do our singing or our text. So
Hi. Just to say something, because
oh yeah, go ahead.
no, we're talking about uh, having a position or trying to make ourselves into a particular shape instead of just letting the flow happen. And it was definitely thinking to me because making me think that um, when you're open, you're vulnerable, and this is why singing, acting, things like this. You, but because our habitual posture is very comfortable in a way because it becomes our identity. And I've noticing people walking around with particular postures, and it is an attitude, it is an identity, and we all have those kinds of identities and protection devices because the world is dangerous and cruel. And when you open yourself, you better be ready that things will happen that you're whether it's from outside or from inside that are going to be a surprise. Am I making sense?
No, absolutely. I've heard that a lot, right? That people feel I can't, this is what I've heard. I can't possibly walk down the streets of New York like this.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard that. But, and I'll say in my glib way, annoyingly glib way, it's the only way you can walk down the streets of New York because it gives you strength and it gives you, but it is very unnerving to feel that open. But it doesn't feel that open when you're grounded. But I get it. I understand why students say that to me because I understand that feeling. But you're absolutely right in terms of the identity, and that's what I see in people. And when the head of the Juilliard School, the drama division, because they based the whole program on Alexander, and the original head of the whole program said that what they have found is that if the students can change what Matt is just saying, postural habits, it allows them to play a range of characters rather than just one. Exactly what you're saying. But you see, I think the fear comes in because we don't have a sense of support. We don't have a sense of support. It's like somebody saying, oh, just let go. Well, what are you letting go to? You can't let go into nothingness. It would be absolutely terrifying. But you have to let go into support so that when you feel supported by the earth rising up, when you feel supported by your own diaphragm holding you up, it is a very different world. Because I must say this like this, it feels like you have the best friend in the world with you all the time. It really does. It is that knowledge when we permit the inhalation. This is, what is so crucial when we work with the breathing. And we do whatever we do. We do our hiss, and then I invite you to pause, lips closed, and watch the air come in. You have to ask yourself, what is my relationship with that air that comes into me? So when it's meaningful to you, which of course it should be, right? It's our life force, it's our life. That how do we open to it and appreciate it? All of that shifts something in us so that we're just not in our heads all the time. So And I open and I feel how that diaphragm inside of me pulls in the air into my lungs. And I sort of watch it. I watch its full extent. And it's meaningful to me. It has meaning. I don't just take breath to jump to the next exercise or ignore it and grab out of habit for breath to go on to the next exercise. That's why I say it's like we have the two operas. Remember I used to say that? Two operas. You have the exhalation opera, you have the inhalation opera. So let's go into our, oh, I'm sorry. This is what I wanted to just say. When we were talking about all the different ways we have to invigorate that integration, to bring that integration into our awareness. And of course, the sitting comfortably erect is so crucial. And you can see how it frees that little piece there, the sacrum. And I'm on my sits bones, and so it is going to invigorate the psoas muscles to the diaphragm, and think about, understand that diaphragm. It makes us nice and big and three-dimensional. So we're not frontal beings, we're three-dimensional beings. So let's go with that and with our hiss, and especially observant of the inhalation, the widening, the acceptance, receptance of air, receptivity of the air. See, the rib cage expands like that. And then we're keeping a motor going. We're keeping, and that is another incomprehensible until it's not thing of how do you keep sense of self, churn. See, that's the timing. Efficiency in breathing, what you exhale is carbon dioxide, you inhale is oxygen. That's why when you observe me, that inhalation is taking that time. Remember, we're doing an exercise now. We're not doing singing where breath is going to come in rapidly. We want to experience the inhalation. We want to experience that something is animating, igniting the diaphragm, and keeping the diaphragm engaged. That is the art of voice work. Keeping the diaphragm engaged. So when you're starting out at the beginning and you hear something like that, or diaphragmatic support, something like that, and diaphragm, of course, involuntary muscle, we can only understand it in a literal way. How do you keep yourself supported? Instead of the thing that where you have to go off by yourself and figure out that thing, that need to express. I had a student who after 30 years, more than that, said to me, I need a tool. I need a tool to get in, to figure it out. You got to go off by yourself. And you figure out, what is that? What is that? Athletes know it well, right? Athletes know it. They're running. What is this? The thrust that moves them ahead in the race, or they know that well. We have to know it too. You don't need to do anything for sound because that's already in you, the understanding. But you see, this is what is going to be building the strength of that diaphragm. It literally is sustaining that air pressure in the lungs. When you sustain the air pressure in the lungs, it works so beautifully to absolutely vibrate the vocal cords in an absolutely regular rhythm, sound wave. It produces a regular sound wave that carries and projects the voice and puts meaning into your sound, truth into your sound, not an idea voice, not an idea, which would not sound right to us, sound phony. We're instrumentalists. We're playing the clarinet now, playing an instrument, zzz, and we're sustaining zzz. We're sustaining a flow of air. The flow of air gets sustained by the diaphragm, which you cannot really control. You can only animate, you can only ignite, you can only keep it engaged through your integrity. The horrible thing is for us as students is that the moment we think of our voices or sound or how we're doing something, the breath stream cuts off. The energy cuts off. That's really challenging. Appreciate the inhalation. Don't grab for breath to do the next one. Really be calm in your mind and let it fulfill its destiny, and you're going to start to feel time. We'll do one more and then we'll go into the hum. See, there is an immediacy. I mean, I know I say this all the time, but it's just important to keep hearing this all the time, is that when you are in that alignment, that integration, and you're in your core, yourself, your truth, there's an immediacy of igniting the diaphragm to sustain the air pressure, and that's what vibrates the vocal cords. If through bad use they're not working from pushing on the voice, I mean, lots and lots and lots of reasons, the diaphragm weakens. Try to find my photo if I can quickly. The diaphragm weakens. It cannot support the air in the lungs because it has fallen down below the rib cage and thickened. So to work on the voice then becomes, I mean, it's impossible because there can be no diaphragmic action. But if we believe Carl Stow, and we have every reason to, because all of us come not with maybe as severe as this, but all of us come with weakened diaphragms, and it changes very dramatically. But he believed truly and had experience that you could change this. The immediacy of that alignment, that integration, that finding that need to express. And noticing how it immediately is on the lips. There's no other choice. You're in your alignment muscles, you're in your integration muscles, and speech will be on the lips. The next way in, one of our ways in, are those whispered counts of 10. Because the genius, and maybe this is like Will's sensory awareness workshop, the Charlotte Silver, that we communicate to our coordination through the sensory. And when you can activate the sensory, it aligns those inner muscles. It integrates those inner muscles which are responsible for voice. Yes, and structural support, but we're voice people, it's responsible for voice. So when you first hear about Whisper Consultan, you think literally. Of course you would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're doing the work. But I'm asking you to get, the practice is getting into a state of wonder first, that curious ear. What am I going to hear? Like that. Do it in your own room right now. Sharpen the ears so that you're aware of all the sounds, not external sounds necessarily. You're aware of all those sounds. Sounds come into your eardrum, even if it's the rushing of the air. Even if it's just air, you hear that. What is the state you're in to do it? It's not this, it's not trying to hear. It's the eardrum is sensory nerve tissue. It hears quite well without us trying to do anything. Just like the retina of the eye is sensory nerve tissue. And this weird thing happens. It so integrates the muscles that it makes the words come out of you. It's 3 counts down, I show. If I had to define the experience that I have, it's really hard for me. My ear's outside and I hear something, but I don't hear myself. You know, I'm not hearing myself. I'm hearing something being said to me. That is the huge difference, and you have to figure that one out. What is the difference between you actively doing it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And getting first into that place of that. As though you were hearing, I sometimes used to say this, hearing a ticking clock. It almost feels like you're hearing a ticking clock when you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now remember, how this work is learned. Well, in Alexander, we always say it's repeated sensory experiences. That's how the work is learned. I would say in doing voice work, it is artistic transmission. I live it, and you stay open so it can get into you. So you have to find that way of being the sponge, of being so open that and curious that something starts to integrate. When you do Whisper Counts to 10, it's getting the diaphragm to move. That's why it's really helpful to do it, because, you know, in a way you are building its strength, not as powerfully as when you demand the sound, but you are getting movement going. And since most of us have very sluggish diaphragms, we collapsed. To do that is so helpful, and it keeps the diaphragm moving up and moving up and moving up and moving up, getting rid of more carbon dioxide, so your inhalation is going to be longer. More oxygen will come in. You don't go to the point of tension, obviously, but you see what you can do, and every time you do one, you're going to notice you can do probably another one. So let's go again. 1, 2, 3. See, and you don't have to, although at the beginning, because of the way our minds work, we feel we need to grab for breath and then start, but just be clear on what it is that you want. Get into that state of listening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, It's a very peaceful, very calm way of working to start to free the diaphragm. And if you're ever feeling under stress, McClellland, tension, whatever, doing whispered counts of 10 and permitting the reflexive inhalation, oh man, it is a game changer. To do that before you have to perform, if you were like me and get nervous, it is really helpful. It puts us back into timing. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Some of you might be noticing that as you're doing the counts, it triggers a reflexive inhalation. If that happens, that's a gift. You stop and you enjoy having that inhalation. Go back to your hum so that you're aware of the core. Now here, see that there's no middleman. So I can stop humming and my speaking voice sounds the same. But hear the tonality. I want, as we were doing the whisper counts a second ago, I was thinking of something. My first awareness of this and what we do, and it was with Pavarotti many, many years ago, watching him on television, and how he would just stand there as the orchestra was playing, just stand there, and then he would start. There was, and I was still at such an early learning stage that my whole tendency was to take breath before I began. You know, to be stiff as a board, and then to take a breath and then begin, where he was just there in that state of flow and poise, and it came out of nothing. And he would start. It was really beautiful. I learned a lot from watching that. But I digress. Let's go into and see if you can hear what rises out of you. Don't feel what rises out of you, and make the distinction between going into the head to hear and hearing the sound that came out of you from the vibration of the vocal cords with the air. And hear that. Hear that. Because then when you go to do your counts, you'll be less inclined to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hear the difference. What has meaning? Which one has meaning for you? And what does that even mean? Well, I would say that meaning comes from the integration. Meaning comes from that place down there, right? The place that animates the diaphragm. You cannot animate the diaphragm. You cannot engage the diaphragm. You cannot ignite the diaphragm without the hard work, the other piece. That's the art. And we always talk about great singers have a cry in their voice, in their sound. And then you mock the, bad old Italian opera singers who would try to do that, put the sob in the voice. Because the sob in the voice is going to, the cry, the universality is going to come when you're in that core. That's impulse. It's love dogs. That's the cry for the connection. The moan of the dog for his master, all of that is just, that is the longing for connection. So you never can forcibly do something like that. You have to find that in yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dee da da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee. Speech is a reflex. Speed of breath articulates the words, just like when we do Betty bought her bought some butter. Right? It's the same thing. If we go, and unfortunately, getting back to the Columbia students, once again today, as we did our friend Betty Botter, you know, I said, now remember what your habits are and try to not do it. Betty Botter, bottom, immediately. You got to remember, I said, you have to remember that you do that and you don't want to do that. Betty Botter bought some butter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is not me making that. The difference would be dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee. I'd be making it, and it would sound like that instead of the invigoration of that flow of breath. So let's experiment. Let us do one voice count of 10 plus 5. We pause. We appreciate the air coming in. Then we'll do 2 plus 5, etc. I'll do it with you or before you, however it works. But you're on mute, so you know you're experimenting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me let air come in. Let's do each one twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 counts of 10 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Luxuriate in your inhalation. Do 2 plus 5 again. Then we'll go to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? And your ear, see if your ear can hear, but rise above. That's focus of voice. And that's what carries meaning. That's also projects the sound, but it also carries meaning. 3 counts of 10 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And notice the difference. If I were to make it happen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, that would be what you would hear. And in my own body, I feel total collapse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, every time we do, it becomes easier and easier because you're building strength. Even tonight, you are building strength. 4 plus 5. Careful, no tanking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Luxuriate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 counts plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel the coolness of the air on your nostrils. It is separate and distinct from you. Let me see if I can do this now. Okay, I think I can do this. Yeah, good. Let's do it since we just talked about it. Before you start, Betty Botter, of course, before you start, try to feel in your bones, try to feel in your body what we've done in the past, the sense of rhythm. I'm sorry I threw you off by demonstrating badly a second ago. When you let the words, as Matt was talking about earlier tonight, when you let the words rise out of you, you make sense of this. So it's very easy to do tongue twisters as sort of just throwaways. And Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If you put in my batter, it will make it better. But to really let the words speak through you. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So she bought a bit of butter and put it in her batter, and it made her batter worse. Those words have meaning. They don't need you to try to impose an idea you have of them onto them. You let them speak through you. And that's underneath the whole thing. But if I find myself getting dry, what we call dry voice, and disconnected, I will go into Betty bought some butter. It'll sound like that. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. That will come from my head. I'm talking like that right now, instead of from breast support, which is Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. And for me as performer, I feel different. I feel enlivened. I feel that something is speaking through me rather than my ego. And I don't mean that in any sort of way. I just mean my intellect, let's say that, is doing it. So let's try it. It's very subtle and very slight, waiting for the word so that you have, just like when we would do our spaces between steps that Mary talked about, or the walking the earth upholding, something speaks to us, or even the experience of the incoming air. Something is external to us, doing us. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. And maybe you could take this little, there's a colon there, so take some time and renew. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So she bought a bit of butter and put it in her batter, and it made her batter worse. And feel how nice it feels on the lips, the B's. That you're not trying to make the B sound, but it's that the B is almost like opening up the mouth as you do it. One more time to experiment with that. The language coming to you. Betty bought some butter. You could even take that phrase many, many times so that it gets you away from trying to articulate the phrase. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of butter will make my batter better. So she bought a bit of butter and put it in her batter, and it made her batter worse. I like it on YouTube. There's a whole YouTube on Michael Caine, acting for film. And, he wrote a book about it, but this is like the whole book is on that. And he's working with some students. And he has something that we can even apply here. He said, it's just talking to your mate. You're just talking to your mate. So if you sort of add that into the mix too, that you're just there. Let's do if a doctor doctored another doctor. Right? If he did, if another doctor doctored another doctor, with the doctor doing the doctoring, doctor the other doctor in the way the doctor wanted to be doctored, or the doctor doing the doctoring, doctor the other doctor in his own way. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. Try that. Because our temptation is, if a doctor doctored it, to push with our throats, to try to make it. But you're just going to say it. If a doctor doctored another doctor, right? If, a doctor doctored another doctor. That's all it is. So go ahead, try. A doctor doctored another doctor. Would the doctor doing the doctoring doctor the other doctor in the way the doctor doctored wanted to be doctored? Or would the doctor doing the doctoring doctor the other doctor in his own way? Scoot down to my favorite, which is Weather the Weather. And the reason I love this one is that you get to feel a hum. I love that right? Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, well, whether the weather, whatever the weather, or whether we like it or not. And you can really feel that whole thrust and stream of air. And of course, it's G and S, so, it's the same. Whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, well, whether the weather, whatever the weather, or whether we like it or not, and really enjoy that feeling of vibration that you get. And let's do our final one, to sit in solemn silence. You don't even need me. Da 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 da. Okay, so that's living inside of you. So go ahead and try. To sit in solemn silence in a dim, dark dock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Big black block, 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 and enjoy that. Because if you went big black block, there's no joy in that. There's no enjoyment. But big black block, big black block, that's fun. You could do that forever. And that would be a good breath strengthening exercise. So let's do that again, to sit in solemn silence. Da dee da pa 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 da 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 da. So, to sit in solemn silence in a dim, dark dock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Big black block, big black block, big black block, big black block. Again, to sit in solemn silence in a dim, dark dock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Fun, huh? Really fun to do that. Let's sing. Let's see if you can get into your 5 spoken so's. I'm doing this just to annoy Matt. But feel it before you start. Feel the time in the body. Okay, why? Well, what are our time muscles? They are the psoas muscles. So when you live time, when you embody time, that's the better way of saying it. When you embody time, they're working and they communicate to the diaphragm. Now, here's the rub, right? If you are collapsed down in the legs, you cannot embody time. That's why when you see great musicians, jazz musicians, and you see how their legs are just, doesn't help to wear black pants, does it? But their legs are just moving. That's because of psoas, because they're just living that time. So. And it's really challenging, and I acknowledge this, it is really challenging to go from trying to feel, thinking we have to try to feel out the right thing, And when we try to feel out the right thing, we will always be in our throats trying to do this, just the way it works. I mean, that's the habit, right? Instead of this weird thing that we talk about of being on impulse, literally being impulsed. Something external to you, like an external drummer is going dee 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 dee. So 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 so, and that communicates to the diaphragm. That's a practice. Really, that's a practice. I think people tend to want to just throw that away as I want to just get to the song. I just want to get to singing. But that is what music is all about. Music is all about that. So, 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 so. See, it's right there. So, 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 so. 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 Now, see, what we have to understand is that when you are in the flow of music like this, we do all our practice, but now we're in music, and our bodies will breathe us if we stay with the constancy of that. You know, that is how it works. And if you think back a couple of weeks ago, Emery talking about the flute and playing rapid passages and things, and that is really it. But we have to, our minds, we have to direct, you know, and that's a really good word. It's an Alexander word, but it's absolutely true. You know, my teacher, Olga, as you know, used to say, command what you want, direction. You have to be clear every second of what that process is. That's what takes the time in your study. Because our minds have problems doing that until they don't anymore. And then it's just how you work. It is just how you work with this incredible focus and clarity of direction. So you're not feeling out the right thing. You're clear on what the process is. And that's demanding, but we're doing it every week. Let's go on, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, you hear in that, it is not me jumping up to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, but it's in voice terms, it would be the voice on breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a voice on breath. That's technique. But it's beyond that, right? It's ba da ba ba ba. My body is feeling that. Dee da dee da da. Ya da ba ba ba. 5, 4, 3, 2. And it's making the word for me. And you feel that. And it can be downright scary at first to feel the words just come out of you without you being behind the word, trying to say the word. It can feel just bizarre. Like, I've lost control. It's okay. It's a wonderful feeling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And see, when you direct like that, your voice becomes automatically focused. Everything works. How wonderful is that? How wonderful that is how it manifests. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, Five, four, three, two, one. that when we are sort of lost, when we're not focused, we will see the grabbing for breath between each phrase, right? There'll be this little hiccup breath like that. But when you're in the flow and you're just constantly directing, it's always coming from there. And your body is breathing you, and so you don't see that. I mean, I say that to students, and it's very hard at the very beginning, even after several years, to have that focus, and the mind goes off someplace. As I teach as the studio manager at the studios. And when I said something to him on Thursday's lesson, he said, my mind was just out there. And it's really true. You just catch me. But it's true, it's very hard to stay that clear in your process, but that's what makes you very strong. So let's keep that in mind. Let's do this again. So you're renewing between each one rather than getting caught up in the idea of singing, which will, I know it's disconcerting to see half ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My experience is that it feeds me. And that's what you have to keep in mind, is that if it's not nourishing for you, I'll sound dogmatic, but it's not right. It becomes like I'm performing for the teacher now. I hope I get it right or something, or I'm trying hard. Instead, it has to be nourishing for you. And that's why when we do the practice of being one with the inhalation and feeling it come into us, and it's so meaningful. So you're really shifting something, and then it's the same with the music. How are you today? How are you today? Okay, so it's working with the ear to be outside ourselves and hearing, getting into that state of what am I going to hear? And it's not obvious and it's not objective. Like it's just being in that place that engages those muscles. I speak, then you speak. I'll do all 3 parts, then you sing it. How are you today? 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 See, there can't be any intellect. How are you today? 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 Oh, I am very, very well. How are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. And they just come out of us. How are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. How are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. How are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. Let's pause. Just to notice what happened to you. Were you grabbing for breath to rush to do the next one? Just check in. How are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. Hang out. So they were just here. We're in the Pavarotti with the orchestra. And then, how are you today? Oh, I am very, very well. We just hang out. we're living the music with all those violinists and everything, and then, how are you today? I'm very, very well. Does it make you nervous to not feel like you're in control? But that's the way the ear works. Just be there. Careful. Even through the Zoom screen, I could feel some tension. I could feel some grabbing. Just be. How are you today? I am very, very well. Then it's like something tells us. How are you today? I am very, very well. And we're here. How are you today? I am very, very well. That's excellent. I still love doing that one. Let's do our little la 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 and take some pauses with that. La la la. La la la. La la la. La la la. La la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. It doesn't matter. We're in stop, we're in suspension. We are in the spaces between the steps, spaces between the notes. We live in that. I've probably said this to you in years past, but I always remember Wynton Marsalis talking about Louis Armstrong. And he said, people said when Louis got old, oh man, he's losing his chops. He's playing fewer notes. He said what they didn't understand is that he heard more music between those notes, between those fewer notes. La la la, la la, la, la la, la, la la, la 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 la. La, 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 la. We finish it. La, 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 la. So it's just, the same thing. Let's take what we did last week. Because it's sort of fun. And it's fraught with habit. Fraught with habit. Because we know it so well, and it is da da yi ba da ba be da ba ba ba, right? It should be coming around the mountain. And again, it is so easy when you have an enthusiastic song like this to let it run away with you, and you feel the desire to sing and to push. And then you got me saying, nope, 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 nope. Come on back and stay grounded and stay rooted and stay connected to the music rather than to the ego wanting to do it. Not that it's not fun to do that, but we're going for something deeper. So she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. And after we just did the Betty Botters, we just did our tongue twisters, you can feel that. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. I feel like nothing is going on for me here. Nothing. She'll be coming round the mountain, she'll be coming round the mountain, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. But I am aware of a sustained hum throughout the whole thing. Speak it once and feel that, just like we did Whether the Weather Be Fine. We felt the sustained hum. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Now we do it as a chorus piece. So, you take breath, wherever breath wants to come in, you let it, right? It's not to be done in one breath, two breaths, nothing like that, right? It's just, sorry. That's a good key. She'll be coming round the mountain, she'll be coming round the mountain, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Now, if you go back a few weeks to Anne-Marie talking about doing rapid passages in flute, let's experiment with this and notice where the breath wants to just come in naturally. It's not like you stop and let a big breath come in or grab for breath. You notice how the body takes care of that. And then when you start to hear great singers, you'll notice the same thing, how they work with that. Beginning, she'll be coming around the mountain. I think this is an okay key.
You'll hear us.
I told something like, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. And if you want to really think about it, you can articulate the final time. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain.
Next week I'll use yours.
She'll be coming around the mountain when she
It is
comes.
next
Who's
week.
talking? I'm sorry. Somebody asking me a question? I'm missing? No. Okay.
Joanna, are you asking me a question?
Is there any questions? If somebody has, it's taken off the mute, that's why I wanted to know, right? Okay. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. She'll, make sure you're on mute if we're doing singing, okay? Because I'm still hearing somebody talk, so. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. We will all go out to meet her when she comes. Speak it once. We will all go out to meet her when she comes, because that's a lot of language there. We will all go out to meet her when she comes. We will all go out to meet her. We will all go out to meet her. We will all go out to meet her when she comes. See, where is it all coming from? Let's take it down a little bit. We will all go out to meet her. We will all go out to meet her when she comes. We will all go out to meet her. We will all go out to meet her. We will all go. Now, my favorite verses, we will have chicken and dumplings when she comes. We will have chicken and dumplings, chicken and dumplings, chicken and dumplings, chicken and dumplings, chicken and dumplings. All of that is coming from down here. We will have chicken and dumplings when she comes. We will have chicken and dumplings when she comes. We will have chicken and dumplings. We will have chicken and dumplings. We will have chicken and dumplings when she comes. No, lower. We will have chicken and dumplings when she comes. We will have chicken and dumplings. We will have chicken. We'll be reeling and a rockin' when she comes. Pretend I did it correctly. One more. We'll shout glory, hallelujah. Shout glory, hallelujah when she comes. We'll shout glory, hallelujah. We'll shout hallelujah. We'll shout hallelujah when she comes. Great. Let us gather back. And discoveries, please.
I just really like that you got us using our voices properly for an hour and a half straight, and it's just like, oh, and of course, this is one of the reasons I hate it when you do it wrong, 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 because I just want to hear this beautiful flow and keep it going and say, stop that, please, because it's really fun. Because we don't have, this is not our habit. This
No,
is not our daily habit to do that, to have this flow of breath, and it's really, really, it's fun.
yeah, wonderful.
The other thought that was on my mind, because you were saying about freeing the head, right?
Yeah.
And it is so clearly, no, it's the breath that frees the head.
Yes.
It's the fact that, because you'll remember when my neck was really tight and I'd had some injuries and stuff like that. But and as you remind us, the rib cage goes up to here, so as the rib cage expands, that frees all these muscles in the head, and then it frees the muscles in the shoulders, and that lovely thing where I feel the blood flowing in my hands, and as we do this, and so yeah, oh yeah, don't trying to free the head is it just gets free if you do it. It's
That's
really
exactly right. Right. And, and once again, it's from the feet up, it's from the feet up, it's from the feet up. And when you do have that structural support going for you, that is what, whatever ails us disappears. Great, Matt. Thank you. I'm so glad you didn't have a rehearsal that intruded tonight. Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm too. I am too.
Other observations, final words before we end. Anything? Susan, I didn't get to say hello to you when you came in, so hi. Anything? Will, how do you feel?
I'll share something funny, not funny. I know that my instrument was being tuned because I started to drool while we were working. It's weird how that all relaxes so much and saliva starts happening.
Right, right. Will, how do you feel?
Good. I mean, I could, I have this sort of catching and coughing
Oh,
quite a bit
okay.
throughout.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, that's all gonna clear up so that,
and what you said about talking, just talking to your mate.
yeah,
I've been doing some reading out loud. Uh, I won't tell you who I was reading to,
right.
but it was actually very helpful.
That's
I,
wonderful.
yeah.
I mean, it's a really
I,
fun
I
video
was,
to see. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
no, I was reading to my rescue pigeon, who's in Portugal, who's all alone. And she's so responsive to sound. So obviously the words don't make any difference,
Oh,
but she is so tuned in, like she starts to vibrate. Kind of
oh my
interesting.
goodness. Oh my goodness, how incredible. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful work, people. Please, and write me with any of your questions. I mean, this is just so great to be working in this way. So have a wonderful week, and we'll see each other next week, right? Take very good care.